Mr. Speaker, it really is time for this conversation. I've been waiting to vote on this for 24 years. I've been waiting to vote on this as an assembly member since the day I got elected 6 years ago. I knew its time would come. I know there are a lot of opinions about this. I know my colleague from East Nicholas, just north of my district, has strong opinions as well. But you know what? We have 80 opinions here. There are nearly 20 million Californians who deserve a right to weigh in on this. As my colleague from Encino said, maybe once in a generation, people of California should engage on something so important. Which also I find ironic and somewhat hypocritical is this measure before us was put on by a vote of the people. And those against us don't want us to have a vote. So it wasn't the legislature that put this policy into effect. It was the people of California. They got a chance to vote on it at the ballot. So why not just let us have another chance to go at it again? I want to focus on a few seconds of what this bill and this measure before the people of California won't do. It won't bring quotas around, and you hear the rhetoric about what it will do, and that's just flat out false. The Supreme Court ruled on that. We know that's illegal, and it won't happen in California. We know it won't happen with our UC admissions. We know that that was not the policy. This states that race will be a consideration, a factor. And I want to talk about some real implications for things that we're trying to focus on here in California. Higher education, college access, our K-12 schools. So with regards to University of California, they've already reformed their admissions policies over the last 15, 20 years after Prop 209. They repealed the measures with SB 1 15 years ago. We now have comprehensive review, holistic review of applications where they look at all these factors. And so there's not going to be this quota system in place really changing the process how to get in the University of California. We now have the impact as far as eligibility in the local context. If you're in your top graduation at your local high school, you get admitted for that. There's not going to be quotas who gets in and who doesn't for UC. But what this will do, it'll send a huge message as far as welcoming to our UC campuses. African American enrollment is about 4% at UC campuses, in large part because there's a big not welcome sign. We have a talent drain that goes to schools across California, to East Coast schools, to historically black colleges across the South. Talent leaves California because we have an unwelcome sign, unfortunately. So this will send a message that California wants and values everybody because we need everybody to succeed. We need to have 2 million college graduates in California fill the jobs of today and tomorrow. We need more people graduating from college from all our neighborhoods throughout. So what does that mean? That means having faculty that reflect our communities. Right now, when we hire new faculty at UC and CSU and community colleges, race can't be a consideration. This will certainly make a big difference. As my colleague from East Nicholas says, we do have problems with higher education achievement. We have the graduation rates for African Americans, for brown and black students, is not the same as it is for others. So what would this allow us to do? Have race-based remedies that we know work. Right now, those are illegal, and many of the campuses are afraid of being sued, so they can't go and make a difference. And how will that help us? That would mean more people getting out of the UC and CSU in 4 years, freeing up spots for other Californians, and dealing with our needs as far as higher education graduates fill the jobs of today. For our K-12 schools, my colleague from San Diego, the author of this measure, reminded us last year that black minds matter, and we had tremendous research talking about what we can do to address the achievement and opportunity gap. We give out monies for our LCFF formulation based upon high need. Many times school districts come up with remedies, but they can't implement their programs because they can't focus on race, and even though they know those programs would be proper interventions to make a difference. So we know that everything that we're trying to focus in education, we have remedies and solutions, but we can't always focus on them because we're held back because of Prop 209. This will allow us to go to the people of California to weigh in. Look, many people of California have benefited from affirmative action. My family, my father got his first job here in the state of California as an attorney right down the street with the Department of Justice. And he got an opportunity because of an affirmative action policy. And many people of California have done the same. And for the last 24 years, we've eliminated those opportunities for so many Californians. And we know this isn't a panacea. I hope it passes. I'm going to vote for it today. I hope the voters weigh in as well in a few months.
30 seconds.
There are states across our nation that have these policies, and they have their troubles too. But what this says is that race does matter, and government policy addressing these issues and acknowledging racial inequality is an important step for California to take up. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.